Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... I have discovered a new channel which I want to go through from the beginning. WizGamingXD. One of the possibly, I guess, classic gacha tubers, pretty sure. Although, yeah, I'm not sure if I would quite categorize as one of the classic popular gacha tubers, but definitely one that is popular right now. Certainly what seems to be an evolved one from what I have vaguely been able to see. This channel did not start off with gacha, much like Lily Trescott's MSP, which started with MSP, obviously. This one seemed to have started with, I don't actually recognize the game itself because it doesn't actually say in the videos. The first one just called My First Video, My First Intro, which is, classic gaming intro from 7 years ago. But yeah, there are some Minecraft videos as well on here, including a Bed Wars one actually. There's a few covers which persist to this day actually. Starting from with Stronger Than You, the one that I actually referenced yesterday. There's Roblox. There's again more covers. One from Mulan. Something about German entertainment during World War II, apparently. Yeah, just several things. And then eventually, about 2 years into the channel's creation, there was a Meet the Plastics video, which was a GachaVerse music video. That's not what we're going to watch today. We are going to watch the first episode of a series. The first and second, apparently. Also, there was apparently they used to use a thing called KIC, apparently, which I was going to look up before we started this, and I completely forgot to. Just says kick.com. I don't know. But apparently that's what this person used to use before starting with Gacha, and recreated some characters in Gacha Life, actually, after GachaVerse. This video is GachaVerse, of course, as it does say in the title. So I don't quite know. This one is that's what intrigues me, because I actually got recommended a voice acted video from 2020 that I had in my list of tabs. But then I thought to myself, this one probably was not a first rodeo. So I checked out the channel, and sure enough, it wasn't. So that's why I'm really curious about this one today, because I want to build up to that one. It's another Wizard School one actually, but voice acted. So, but again, that's not what we're focusing on today. This one was back from 2018. So yeah, we are indeed here for the lore today. Mostly because if I did Meet the Plastics, it would get copyrighted, but And yeah, it's cool they're trying stuff out. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that is the process of most YouTubers, and experimenting with different things and figuring out what works on a specific channel. That is how it tends to go. And it just so happens that, but I mean, I say usually that the gacha channels that tend to reach the maximum heights are ones that feature purely gacha, and that's why my biggest regret as a YouTuber is not giving the Mutant Girl its own channel when I started, and just kind of naively assuming that the 300 subs that I had at the time when I made the first Mutant Girl video would suffice to elevate that video more than was average. And I eventually realized that, oh yeah, wait, actually having this be a consistent thing would be far better. So yeah, unlike myself, who took way longer to eventually make the transition to mainly gacha content on this channel, it seems like WizGamingXD figured that out relatively quickly, and we will eventually see the success that came from that. Not this one though. These videos have like 300 something views and 179, I think, views or something. No, 190. My bad. On a channel with 71,000 subscribers. So you can tell that the real content that blew up is stuff that came later. That's what I mean. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Law for the law god. Law for the law. I think I'd lose that title to Lord Nuxenor, but you know, we'll see. Also, yeah, I saw a comment before, by the way. It said this sounds like an Amazon Prime TV series. This is very true. Everyone seems to be intrigued by the title. I don't know what that's in reference to because the description wasn't super clear. All it said was that this was much easier than making Kick or KIC characters or something. So I don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Would eventually, achieve great heights with later content that we will see sometime, down the line. Of course, I would sing over the Meet the Plastics view if I knew the song well enough. I don't, and also no guests for tonight. No one. People are intrigued by the title, but no one wanted to VC about it. So I guess instead of VCing about it, we will just see. I don't know. Without further ado, also I'm speaking of copyright. I'm not sure. Song copyrighted? I don't think so. This seems like fairly, this seems like fairly tame. Anyway, The Donor, episode 1. Wait, actually, wait a minute. I think I do recognize this song. Might take me a second. Well, I'll get there. Anyway, hello, my name is April, and this is my story. Aiden's going to show up in the chat and say, let me in, all lowercase. Either that or KW is going to show up and say in 3-step messages and go all uppercase. One or the other, or both. Aw, you two are so cute. When I was a child, I was very spoiled. Oh yeah, incidentally, this first episode is called The Spoiled Brat. So yeah, we are back in the era of Gacha where most titles were, were the same as each other. Except this one, actually, the Donut episode 1 was was just like the tagline was The Spoiled Brat. The episode name was The Spoiled Brat, not the series name. That's what the difference was. Which, to be honest, is actually a pretty good way of going about that. I wish I thought of that back in the day because there's a non-zero chance that in 2018 when I was trying to use gacha titles but subvert them in my first gacha video, namely the hated child that becomes the hated girl that becomes a princess. That I might have actually that if I ever thought of this, I would have used the same cast of characters in order to explore these different gacha tropes and and create a bit more of a cohesion between the videos. That actually would have been a genius move. Not gonna lie. Honestly, who knows? Might still be able to do that on more gacha from Jacob sometime in the future. Anyway. How about this? I say in first, say could I be first? If it's neither, if someone else like Vin or Ghost, we both lose. You know what? Sure, why not? Okay then. You could change chins in GachaVerse. Actually, it's been so long. Yeah. Again, I only use GachaVerse for one singular video, so I definitely never figured that out. Oh, it's okay. So, by the way, okay. So this is Josh. I was gonna say I forgot to say like hello to Jennifer Griffin, but I guess hello to Josh on the channel called Jennifer Griffin. There we go. All right then. This was due to the fact that my father owned a business. By the way, saying that doesn't necessarily mean much. You can own a small business like a local business or a family business, and that obviously obviously you're your own boss at that point, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have like it's like super levels of income or anything. Or you could own like a massive like conglomerate type of business, and that's when the real bucks kick in. So there is a distinction there, but I am guessing that it's the latter, just based on like this image alone. Here you go, child. I'm going to publicly give you a bunch of money. And hope that no one notices and doesn't try to mug you, of course. Do we finally get to hear what this is about? The wrong bride never tell us the job the parents have. Yeah, that is something. I can't really complain about that because I also have not disclosed most parent jobs verbally in the videos for like my own series. However, they don't usually the plot lines don't usually revolve around the jobs, or they don't usually like affect the narrative. That's why I don't usually do it. Not to say that I shouldn't. Aiden has criticized me for that, and rightfully so. But that's my usual reasoning for it. In this case, it feels a bit more appropriate to do so. The main character breaking the fourth wall to say, "I'm blank, and this is my story." We really are back in 2018, yeah. Then again, MCs nowadays still do that. Oh, sorry, you've been like main character. I was like MC for Minecraft. Like, no, main character. Okay, sorry, that took me a second. My bad. Main character was too young to know what types of careers can be businesses. Well, yeah, that is a possibility. I don't know. I will say I've scrolled through videos on this channel. I haven't watched any of the videos yet. I've scrolled through like again, from the oldest tab, my favorite technique as of recently. So I don't actually know. A lot of the videos do suggest that at least around this time that WizGaming was fairly young, but that's I don't usually speculate about the ages of the creators involved because usually if I do that, it creates like a different image in people's heads about how much like something should be criticized or how little. And I try not to do that because I try to be like fair and balanced to that. So, but yeah, for the record, probably fairly young creator, as was the case with most gacha tubers at the time. So we'll see. Too much of creators having careers, forget the old school, but then be able to have careers. That's true. Usually, when you have like shows that are like career based, it's usually around the main characters, not their parents, unless it's a family business, in which case it's both. Obviously, exceptions like Bonsai Bakery come to mind, which was a family business, which was part of the point. But yeah, other things like Memory's Recipe, for example, that's the main characters being adults and having careers. Yeah, it is something that actually Aiden also shares your view about because he actually Fallen Angels made sure that all the characters were adults. I think his mindset was mainly so that he could put them through like worse situations without having to worry about like the scars that would form when a child/teenager, let's say. So yeah, the youngest character was Alana at 19, and the oldest was, of course, Dagny's at like 4,000. So basically, they're all grown up for that reason. But yeah, I guess that's not really career related specifically, apart from I guess Alana's aunt being a teacher, which was mentioned in episode 2, which was of course connected to Mutant Girl because that was again it affected the narrative and thus was important to mention. There we go. All comes full circle. Yeah. I thought the MC someone say MC for Minecraft and Protect for protagonist. Yeah. That is fair. Yeah. For me actually, for Sword on My Lawn, we've actually named the main character like Malachi Crawford or something. So we call him MC. Because that's what we use. This was like the code name we mentioned for him before we decided the names, and we was like, let's just call him MC. Why not? Anyway. If your favorite OC had a career, assuming they didn't have it. Oh, that's a good question. Honestly, anyone in the chat answered that one. If your favorite OC had a career, assuming they're not ready, what would they have? Anyone in the comments as well, watching the VOD, this is a good question for you. If you got to this far in the video, which is not super far into this proceedings, but still. If your favorite OC had a career, assuming they don't already, what would they have? Let me know. Some guy tells us superpowers or becoming magical girls and how they balance that with their adult jobs. That is true. Honestly, like one of the most compelling things for superhero characters is usually balancing things with like with whatever things they have going on in their like civilian life. Usually that involves school life. One of the reasons that Spectacular Spider-Man is regarded as one of the best shows of all time is actually because like it really dives into that specific aspect of Spider-Man. How he actually balances the superhero stuff with his school life and all the stuff that he has going on, and his work life as well, because of course Daily Bugle is in play. So yeah, it goes into that, and that's something that I mean, I will say the original Super Pops kind of goes into this as well. But I haven't seen that really like used in the gacha versions, because usually that's there's like a backdrop at the beginning, and then the plot magically like interrupts things and then carries on. So that's like a missed trick, I think, in these situations. But yeah, that's I think it makes the characters more relatable too. That's probably why it's usually school life, but work life is also a good possibility here. But yeah, that's tough because my favorite OC is an anomaly. I mean, it was your question, so I don't know. Assuming A14 was a human, he's probably a lawyer or like a sports coach. A controlling personality would shine through. I suppose so. Yeah. either that or keep it really close to home and do something in like the world of cybernetics or computing. Or potentially, if there's a controlling personality that has to shine through in order to, whip people into shape, let's say, possibly a military career. You never know. I could probably see them running a small shop as well, like an antique shop. Yeah. Which, again, is technically owning a business. But, not in the context of this video. If Yuri was a ghost, she would have become wasn't a ghost, she could have become Does her mother really love flowers? I don't have a favorite OC, so I default to Yuri. Yuri, by the way, in case anyone doesn't remember, is the main character in Ghost Kitty's Gacha series, Ghost Girl. So if you're curious about that, go check out that series on her channel. Drill site. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Anyway. Yay! I'm going to loudly yell about this money that I have. Of me, a defenseless child in the middle of a street. Hopefully no one mugs me. And bought me a thing I wanted. Well, I mean, you bought yourself that stuff, I imagine, because you've got the money now. That kind of goes against that. Remember, April, you're the best. Okay, anyone who's seen Firebringer right now has a very clear image of the phrase, you're the best, in their minds. Yeah, exactly. Daddy, I want a golden ticket. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Could have been. I mean, Veruca Salt's, of course, the quintessential spoiled brat. So I don't think anyone has. I don't think any of them have like reached that particular level. Although Chloe Bourgeois has, has definitely tried. Anyway, my parents always encouraged me and told me I was the best. I heard she's spoiled. This is not the kids hated me. Okay, this is actually kind of interesting for me because, again, going back to my first gacha video, and which came out, I think, around the same time. Actually, this was October 8th, 2018. My first gacha video came out October 28th that year. So to go over that one, actually, it was a music video of an original song that was like, going into like a hated child story, but not the same type. I just used the title, but the hated child was hated more or less because he was actually a spoiled brat, to be honest. Honestly, that I could have gone in that direction for it would have made perfect sense. The thing is that I wanted her to be hated because like she actually was like mean to other people. So that's why they just kind of developed a hatred for her, because like, obviously as well subverting the idea of of gacha parents being abusive, which was always the case at the time. Yeah, but in this in this case, well, okay, so yeah, you shouldn't tell child the best, so send up for failure. Yeah, like you could tell them that you're special, but make sure that like everyone, the visual expression that everyone is special. Like, make sure that that's like very clear, so you don't give them an ego. That's what I thought this was going to go in the direction of, and that's what I was trying to do with Frida, the main character of my video. However, in this case, with Crystal saying I heard she is spoiled, it kind of seems like, it kind of seems like they kind of just like got the vibe from her without her really doing anything to them or around them. It was like a rumor that spread. And that's one way of going about it. But when you pair that up with, her parents telling her she's the best, and for that reason, other kids hated her, that kind of there's like a missing gap there. That has to come across in her attitude and what that does to her in order to make the other kids react. Because yes, kids can be cruel, but they usually have some stimulus. And the stimulus here is the rumor that she's spoiled, not her actions as a result of being spoiled, if that makes sense. Yeah. Look, here looking like the wolf fairy hybrid princess, which oftentimes was actually the solution. I keep forgetting, actually, that I want to eventually write a series based on like the old like transformation trope that was paired up with the hated child, actually. Probably for more gacha from Jake, because it doesn't really match the vibe of the Butterverse. So I will do that like as an extra thing. I keep forgetting to do that because like the idea of a world where everyone has like a specific transformation that's like inherent, inherent to them, and so something about them, that's fascinating. But that's rarely ever developed because that's always like that's always like right at the end of the hated child videos, and no one has time to go into the detail of that, and it's not really like foreshadowed or anything. But yeah, what a surprise, Jacob has wants project for idea. That's sorry, not project for idea, idea for project. What a surprise! No one was ever, no one would have guessed. Oh my goodness. We're tweeting on the edge of resting soldier face. Watching you, James. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. I think it's the chin. I think it's mainly the chin that is making that come across, honestly. Well, all except Rose. She was my best friend. Was Rose in the previous image? Let me look. No, she wasn't. Okay, I was just wondering because sometimes, the few times that the gacha characters have like different reactions, is when there's like one person who's meant to stand out from them. But yeah, in this case, we have James with resting soldier face. We have the two children with their names cropped out at the top there that are definitely going to fall. By the way, they are balancing precariously. They are seconds away from like cracking their skulls. But yeah, we have those two there with also different poses and different expressions. So I mean, I think it kind of like shows that whatever like Cake or KIC does as far as character design, WizGamingXD had some level of control, or at least some like work ethic around poses, because we've obviously seen people's first gacha videos, and most of the time they hold on either on pose one or the same reactions, almost copy pasted. You can't really copy paste reactions in gacha, but it was sort of implied, and that actually prevails for a lot of people years down the line. But no, actually, right off the bat, we have that as a good starting point. Yeah, we're not in Silas territory yet. Yeah, I guess. Again, I'm more concerned about the two blonde kids at the top there. One wrong move, and blonde head girl gives more Wetter vibes. A little bit, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have posed more in that exact same pose before. So yeah, I can absolutely see what you mean. She probably doesn't have a third ponytail though. That was definitely too much on my part. Anyways, Rose. Okay, we did a lot of things like Princess and Monster. I'm guessing that's really, we played a lot of things like Princess and Monster. But yeah, fair enough. And of course, I was about to say who was the monster, but yeah, Rose would have to be the monster in this case in order for the whole like princess thing to come across. So yeah. Of course. No, I think I had always made her be the monster. Okay, this is gonna seem very, very, very off topic. But okay, so has anyone like read The Kite Runner? By like Khaled Hosseini. I don't know how to say that. Because actually, it's about somebody who I think grows up in like the goes up in not in like near Kabul, and then has to like move away after like the tides of like war and things start to break out in that region. the main character, Amir, actually, he has a childhood friend called Hassan, who is a different social class to him. Amir's from like is from like a relatively like wealthy family, and Hassan was the son of like one of like a couple of the servants. And incidentally, to anyone who's read the book, I know the spoiler. I've read the book as myself, but like, for now, say that's the case. So basically, like, Amir never saw Hassan as a friend at all. But actually, like, like obviously treated him as such. Those used to play together. He always used to they interacted like as like kids generally would, but there was always that distance between them. And it was only later in life, as Amir like narrates the book, that he realizes like, oh, wait a minute, yeah, I wasn't nice to Hassan at all in these cases. That's what I mean. So it kind of seems like that similar idea basically was like a little bit of a divide that's April is noticing later on. Yeah. It's back to when I was a toddler. I remember you can talk to other sea creatures. I remember you can walk water wherever I want. No, you're not allowed to be more powerful. Ah, yeah, okay. This actually, two things about this actually. Did you know, Bond, that actually a lot of people with gender dysphoria, body dysmorphia actually relate to mermaids a lot because nothing down there. Fun fact. But main thing is that here is that actually I went through something similar, but I was on the opposite end. So my best friend growing up, he was the one who didn't want everyone to be more powerful than him. In fact, sometimes we would like invent new games. He actually was the one he actually would ask us like who is the most powerful character, or would like make a character that would that would be the most powerful, and we'd be like, okay, well, how this is like it. If we were playing with like an existing like franchise, he would ask who the most powerful one was, and then I would say who it was, and then he would become that person. Unless it was the villain, in which case, that was a no-go. None of us wanted to be villains. That's one thing, is that despite one of us being the most powerful, there'd be always like a team. We always imagined the villains. We didn't ever like play them. So that was always why it was like equal for us in some way, which actually had like an effect on like on many things with me, but not in a bad way. What I mean is that like in my writing, I've noticed that I gravitate much more to like stories like from the perspective of essentially side characters, people who like are friends with the main, with like like the chosen one or something, rather than like the main ones. Kind of like how how like John Watson narrates like the books in Sherlock Holmes. That idea. And that's why in some of my stories actually that's the case. Or my main characters actually like aren't very powerful people, and then like but they make a difference by like ingenuity or finding creative solutions. That was basically what I went through because of those encounters. Because has like Erica from Malfoy Academy. That's like my mentality with that. She is by far the weakest person there for now, but she's but she's got the enthusiasm, she's got the drive for it, and she's gonna make sure that she overcomes that hurdle going forward. And that's what I like in a main character, rather than just chosen one. Chosen one characters, that they have their place, but not if they're like super overpowered OCs, which is why I don't think I really had that phase of overpowered OCs. At least not that I can recall at the moment. That was mainly because of that. So yeah. Basically that. Nothing down there. That is a direct quote from Jazz Jennings. So that's what I was going for there. Don't know that actually. Yeah, my friend and I played mermaids because she had a pool. Fair enough. Yeah, my own obsession with mermaids was purely due to Mermaid Melody the series. So unrelated reasons in my case. Reminded me of how I had an imaginary friend group called Millie the Mermaid. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Millie the Mermaid. Hold on. Whoa. Has anyone here seen Jessie? Because if you've seen Jessie, Zuri, her imaginary friend, is Millie the Mermaid. So there you go. I guess somebody. Okay, Josh has seen Jessie. Okay. Well, can't believe that. My goodness. There's no alliteration in the Spanish dub, unfortunately. Me, La Sirena, but they tried. Like it's a given during a play date. I mean, Yeah, potentially, because like at some point, because you know, if you're like if you're like in the school grounds, you have to imagine characters because you know you run out of you run out of actors basically. uh, okay, okay, you go ahead and like load up your magic friend story, and then we will get to you. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that explained a lot of my mind process. By the way, that same best friend, you know, I'm still touching. I say I still stayed over at his house sometimes whenever I go to Madrid. Yeah, he actually deeply regrets those times, and he deeply regrets like his mentality at the time, which I can understand. But I don't reproach him for that whatsoever because I mean it actually forced me to get more creative. You know, like the characters that I enjoy writing for. So there you go. Hmm. Anyway, back to this. Everything was going well until one day the Fire Nation attacked. Rose brought a new toy to my house and I wanted it. Okay, this is what I mean. This is what I was saying before about like April's attitude being the thing to drive a wedge between herself and other kids. Like I feel like it should have like come a little bit earlier with like the other ones, but the fact that it happens here also makes sense. And by the way, I don't remember having only used GachaVerse once. I don't remember if that you could actually like use like hold props at the time. But like you know, a lot of people would use like the objects for things. It's like how in episode 3 Beats ago, I actually used like the phone like object that was like floating there, so you can actually see Empress's like hand hovering up and down. Because it was also I still used like the animation poses like a random animation videos rather than as you know just voice acted because that was not the title. Again, I've gone over those details of you know my regrets in terms of marketing Mutant Girl, even in this video for that matter. But yeah, like that's why so they're supposed to be like touching the bear right now. That's basically trying to overcome those hurdles. Yeah, weirdly, my IF imaginary friend was like my human version of my neurodivergency. As I imaginary friend that made me think things get distracted, makes me talk too loud, etc. I mean, okay. You pay attention. If you think about a really cool story, it likes me talking loud. So basically your IF was kind of like Chuckles in a sense. You know, it's like, no, but I'm here. Don't blink, don't blink, don't blink, Gideon. Like basically that. I mean, fair enough. It's better than Flibble Flabble Grizzle Graggle, that's for sure. This also reminds me of I was in a play I was in like a demo of a play years ago. Basically there was basically this director screenwriter called Harry Duffin wanted to adapt like his like a TV show that he made called The Tribe, which was basically what happened if there was like a disease that wiped out all the adults and all the kids had to live in a post-apocalyptic world and what kind of and what that would be like. Essentially, like you know, gang warfare, teen version, or and some case child version as well. Scrambling for survival. And during that, there was actually like only two like kids in the roster. Everyone else was like a young teen. So basically, like during that scene, where they had to like break like kind of like fight over toys. There was like two of them just going like, "It's mine, it's mine." Basically, like the reason I was involved was because like he wanted to like that guy wanted to adapt it into a stage play, having already made a book out of it. And yeah, I think it was eventually deemed that it couldn't really tour around schools like he wanted because there was way too much swearing in that, which I avoided. But also just like the nature of it, like what would be like the appeal for schools to really have that be the show that toured around, you know. It was not the right audience, so I don't think it ended up going ahead. It was like the demo that I was invited to, I think. So yeah, I have to make up stories in my head. If I was allowed to write them down, make childish drawings, then comics, then written scripts and animations. Ah, well there you go. I've got her inspired her made into a gacha character. I don't know if I mentioned her before, which is known as Imagine. Then bonched up, the gender crisis began. See that, you know, that all this stuff converges, you know, it's fascinating. Like the more that you talked about like making a gacha, I was like, oh wait, no, this is like having someone called Imagine. That's that makes sense. That's what Minnie the Mermaid. Do it. Gacha needs more mermaid stories. You know, I will stand by that one. You know, we can't have Cookie Swell C have all the fun, can we? Anyway, back to this. Then it broke. By broke, I mean it disintegrated because it was a unmovable gacha object, and we couldn't actually make it move otherwise. So yeah. You broke it. Dead. You're so spoiled. Why are we friends? You treat me like a servant, like Hassan. There we go. Maybe WizGamingXD has read The Kite Runner. You never know. Also, by the way, correct use of your, several bits of punctuation here, and all the words are appropriately capitalized. I haven't mentioned that yet here, but yeah, possibly WizGaming might have been like a little bit older by the time the gacha rolled around. Yeah. Under the sea, cookies will see. Where all the critics whine about physics and the story. Yeah. Love that one, by the way. And then she left. Stop crying, April. Which incidentally, you know, happens to me and like my friend group multiple times. You know, it'd be like, you know, we'd have like a huge, I was like, you're not my friend anymore. But then like, you know, a couple days later, we'd be fine again. So, but then I guess in this case, this was like an eye-opening moment, which fair enough. At that moment, I decided to change. Stop crying, April. From this moment on, I swear, I will be kind. Again, it would have been really nice to have like other examples that weren't narrated with the other kids first, but it is good to show that that what like actually motivated her was the fact that somebody that she cared about actually called her out for it. That part makes sense to me. Yeah. I spent all afternoon writing it. I was ready to make it until it never came back. Okay, you know, if I remember tomorrow, tomorrow we'll do like another Cookie Swell C reaction. But although it won't be a Mermaid Series one because that's, you know, that show never came back anyway. So yeah. There'll be something else. I'll give instead of take. Do you hear me, ocean? The ocean says yes. Turns into Mako Tsunami. Again, back to me running away where I'm not. We're having pizza tonight. I'm running away tomorrow. That is great. Although, did you ever have like a character-defining moment that was you want to like change your life around, and so you ran off to the beach to scream at the ocean? Was that ever a thing you did? Let's just hope they'll see that I've changed. Well, I mean, you first have to demonstrate that. So you can't just be like, "Hey guys, I've changed." But you know, well, it's a start. Anyways, back to the present. My first day of high school. Oh, okay. So we're not gonna see what actions he takes beforehand. This was all previously. Okay. So maybe this is meant to be like April is trying to make a fresh start because it's a new school, new environment. So we've got new you. You know, another relatable thing people do. Okay, fine. Not what I would have gone with. I would have gone with, you know, making like the changes. Because honestly, another thing we mentioned, I know before we mentioned that there's lots of like stories that are about that. There should be more stories about like adults in gacha. I think that there should be more stories about children, because most gacha main characters, again, including my own, I'm guilty of this as well, are teenagers. And that's partly because teenagers are, you know, like an easy, they're easy to write for because there's so much teen media that exists out there that also like kids have consumed, so they know about it. They know what they're kind of like can idealize what their future's going to be like, if it's going to be like what they see in shows or movies or whatever. You have adults who have been through those situations, and of course, teens make up like a large portion of like audiences of anything because they have the free time to consume it, and thus you're right for that appeal. So Gacha's similar in that case, but that's a case for like all media. But with Gacha specifically, given how many like young kids, particularly in the early days, were the ones like driving Gacha forward, we don't have so many stories about like their own age range. Like adults, I can somewhat understand not being like super developed or talked about, because otherwise you get stuff like The Wrong Bride, for example. But yeah, like something that intrigues me, because yeah, like there are many stories you can talk that you can like have that are the feature like kid protagonists, especially when you don't have to like cast them as VAs as well. So this would have been an ideal moment. But yeah, children's lives lack complexity. Opposite teenage Gachas, they're too happy. Blues Pops core. Okay, well, part of that is true, but actually also the advantage of like writing for child characters is the fact that they can hyperbolize a lot of things and make like increased stakes that you wouldn't otherwise have, or they can create their own stakes based on their own imagination, or I guess being helpless to navigate a world they don't fully yet understand, and that can be a fantastical world or it can be our modern world. So again, there is potential in those ideas. So, but yeah, see how critic of a child I was? Yeah, and you would have been a compelling main character as a result of it. There you go. Read my beach experiences. Okay, fine. Hold on a second. Okay. Because of that, for beach, I'm either 3 feet in the sand, throwing wet sand at people like a psycho, seeing how far I can swim out in the ocean before my parents get mad at me. I can say that I have done 2 out of the 3 of those things. I never threw sand at people, but I did the other 2. Anyways, with my parents' love and support, I know I'll do great. I think maybe the reason that we get so many high school stories is because, like, again, if you show like somebody only high school dramas, for example, and ask them to write a story, they're going to write a high school drama. It's lack of exposure to other things, even if their own lives would also be the great basis for stories, but they just don't think that's the case. Yeah, that's a Slytherin in me right there, demon child. Yeah, this is and the would-be Slytherin, if weren't in Ravenclaw, in me would say that no, your Slytherin part is the ambition side. But yeah, anyway, they would never change their clothes. She grew up. I mean, she has consistent fashion. Maybe her clothes are tailor-made or something. But then again, that would also be a really good way to show that she's changed, as in like have like a physical outfit change. That's definitely a shortcoming of this, like not designing like a different outfit or even color scheme. Like I know that Aiden and I will continue to to argue this point until the end of our days, as far as color schemes go in anything, but specifically Gacha in this case. My mentality is that like over time having characters wear different colors is something that's that is intriguing, because then people like have options like say what's your preferred outfits, but there's an idea that nothing will be permanent for them. So as time goes by, it shows like they've evolved as people as well, like their tastes have changed because they are different people, which is the case for April here. She has made a change and thus probably might not be as much of a pretty pink princess in quotes as she otherwise was in her childhood. Also, by the way, Pink and Green. Oh, it's another one point. Pink and Green. I keep forgetting. That's another show I've been meaning to review for years. Pink and Green. I need to put that one on the list. Dang it. Anyway, back to this. I'm getting distracted. So, when there's no guest here, I distract myself. That's just how it goes. So basically, what was I saying? Yeah. So that was why I think that would have worked here. But at the very least, yeah, like having a different get up of some way That's probably a shortcoming in terms of like, not accounting for that after the design has been made, just like keeping the same design. That's the thing that I think I myself, well, I didn't really change characters aside from like the time I was coached by Jay to do so. Like I didn't like make a huge time skip for most of them. But then again, Empress being the prime example of, she was a fashion queen in Jay's continuity. So, that's like she had to have outfit changes. But it wasn't something I was used to doing until much later. So I get it. I get it as well. Also, another reason I would have had consistent characters because then I would have, been able to, yeah. Yeah, exactly. What's pink and green? Pink and green should never be seen is another well-known like classic gacha series of a channel that actually is almost like the opposite of WizGamingXD. It started off as a gacha channel and then like pivoted away from that and meant like tech stories or something, with like Subway Surfers background, which I don't know as much of is moving forward or not. But yeah, it was somebody who quote unquote outgrew gacha, but yeah, still has that stuff available. And I got that recommended to me like years ago when I was like, but I wasn't doing like many gacha reviews at the time, and I it's been in the back of my mind for a long time. So maybe I won't do Cookies World Sea tomorrow. Maybe if I'll prepare pink and green, and then we'll go from there. Sounds like brain rot. I don't know. I think I listened to like one of the stories. I don't know. It wasn't. It was kind of like essentially like Reddit posts, but I guess fictionalized. So Reddit posts, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't like too much of a brain rot, I don't think. But yeah. What's the question? April Fashion says she was wearing a skirt and a pair of pants. That is true. That is true. Yeah, if they weren't folded up, they could have been excused as leggings, but yeah, not really. Oh well. Also, by the way, another thing that was that definitely is a sign of early gacha development actually is that the parents they don't look like they are much older, because that's something that is also very difficult to pull off in the if you don't know how to navigate around that. It's still really difficult in Gacha Life 2 to this day, but not impossible. There are ways. So yeah, exactly. The parents don't age. There we go. That's the. It was. I don't think it was a call to de-ager. It was just that Johnny excused the fact that the characters dressed and looked exactly the same despite having kids was because they were miraculous holders, which then of course broke the rules of how the Strike Back episode went down in the original version, because that revolved entirely around a non-miraculous holder and miraculous holder aging simultaneously and looking identical. So yeah, didn't really work there. Yes, you're right. That does count as an async moment. Anyway, with my parents' love and support, I know I'll do great. See you later. Okay, another sign of early gacha is there's different things with walking cycles. Or they see like transitions between like one screenshot to another, depending on like how they're placed or how they're like snipped or whatever. They will be descended from each other. Some people will do fades to everything. That's just how their editor works sometimes. I'm pretty sure that WizGame was trying to make it so that the character would not just like whiz off screen, and never be seen again. They're walking at super speed. But yeah, because there's no like changes in the walking pattern, it just seems like you're just hopping away very slowly. I can see what the attempt was. An attempt was made. I can see where April's green has come from. I don't see where the brown hair comes from. As the dad's hair is actually very, very dark brown. It's not. I can vouch for that. Yeah, maybe one of her parents dyes their hair. Maybe Jessie's not a natural blonde. You never know. She took so long to walk away. The sun is setting now. Oh, and it was the end of the song as well. That was really well timed. Okay, we'll get to episode 2 in a second, but yeah, final thoughts on this one. yeah, like like I mean, it's rudimentary, it's bare bones, but but I mean that in a good way. It's not like I'm hugely questioning like the logic of what's going on, or that or like losing my mind about certain elements or certain character choices. No, actually, that a lot of like I feel like everything makes sense in this one. There's like the things that I mentioned that could have been improved are essentially things that I would have done differently to make something better. But the stuff that I think could be better in here was still functional for this video. Um, as and yeah, like the grammar was and spelling was on point, surprisingly so. But also one thing that really I want to emphasize here: the main character has a motivation. She has a goal and she has an arc. A lot of gacha characters start off quite reactionary. In fact, going back to the hated child example, very reactionary concept there. The spoiled brat less so, because the spoiled brat has to do spoiled things and therefore has to be an active character. However, usually they have to be an active antagonistic character. Um, and again, that's how I think they should have started, with a few antagonistic actions. Well, more than those that we got in here, more than just the one example with Rose. But that does, but that does work in this case. But yeah, like she actually made a choice to do something for herself, and actually, and now wants to turn a new leaf. And I feel like most people here are kind of like on board for that process, which is what you want with any main character in any story. You want to support them on their journey. You want to root for them in some way, even if it's rooting for them to change slowly but surely, if they haven't realized they should change yet, which she has. And like I said, going through the stuff like as a child makes perfect sense. If anything, yeah, I think WizGaming might have been like slightly older in order to like reflect upon those aspects of childhood and realize that people want to change from what the person they were. Because I mean, Lord knows, if I was still the same person I was as a kid, yeah, that I definitely would be far worse. I wouldn't be awful, but I'd be worse. So yeah. Guess that's just blonde because able to have some blonde in her hair. So Thomas, okay, whatever. Parent stuff. So yeah, honestly, a really good start. And yeah, it's unfortunate that the lack of bombastic craziness meant that it was buried in terms of this at this point. But it's but like compare that to someone like Lily Trescott, for example, who went in all the wrong directions and purely like and like had like the characters be mostly reactionary until like they had to like do something random at the end. It was like, oh, they might as well do something, It was like break into like a basement and rescue their sister, whatever happened in the abused child story. My goodness, yeah. That like I know I said before that aspects of what of like children's stories usually evolve around like the helplessness of a world they don't quite understand, but they still need some sort of agency, or still need some form of either acquiring control or actually making an impact, because that's one of the things that like as children we want to do the most is make an impact on someone or something. Establish that there is a difference because we exist. And yeah, and in the case of April, she wants to make that positive difference. So let's head on right on to episode 2, because there's only 2 episodes of this series, unfortunately. It was a short-lived one, and find out what that difference actually is. My guess is that is that she's going to try to make new friends, but eventually she's going to get exposed by Rose in some way. But then, yeah, who knows? Or she's trying to convince Rose that she's changed, and Rose is not believing her. But there you go. The donut episode 2, which by the way, the donut episode, the donut name, I think, is because of like the idea of like giving and receiving. Like April did nothing but receive and take So now she's going to try to, donate or, to give back, basically. Also, this episode is called Gossip. So, again, I assume that the rumors are still going to abound here because, which I guess means that into some level during the time skip, April failed to change completely. So we'll see how the new leaf comes out in this one. So, yeah. Here we go. Oh, and a sound effect too. I forgot to mention the bell sound effect. I'm so excited with like the basic things in early Gacha. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. I expect you've had a great summer. Oh yeah, the last episode was like all narration and flashbacks, so now we actually get the the real time events. And also there is Rose, more pink than before. And now we get to see what the blonde kids' names were, Harmony and Jake, who also have not changed their color scheme in years. And James, of course, here with not resting sultry face, but definitely the Giga Chad chin. In fact, I think Jake seems to have developed that as well. Actually, I guess puberty gave him more of a Chad chin. I think that might be why they're like that, to distinguish like the male characters from the female ones. Because one thing that people complain about a lot in Gacha is that they find it difficult to design male characters compared to female ones. So maybe that was one of the ways to distinguish them, I guess. There's a man's chin, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, everyone's still wearing their childhood clothes. That is still strange. That was a long bell. Today we have a new student joining us. Okay, I thought this was... When we said that April's first day of high school, I thought it was like the first day of the school year. Not that April herself, I guess, might have like had a transfer of some kind. I don't know. Maybe she was homeschooled before. That raises further questions, actually. I guess, okay, Jake recognizes her knees because he's still looking down. Crystal and Rose seem to have, really adverse reaction. But yeah, I guess it's all the same kids. I guess, I depending on like how small the town is she lives in, yeah, turning a new leaf in high school might not have worked because you just end up, being with the same people. Small town education, I guess, but I don't know. Please introduce yourself. Oh, wait a minute. No, she's okay, saying her name is April. So does that mean that all the kids, like, apart from Rose, remember her from like that one time in the playground? I don't know about that, actually. Yes. Oh, okay. Oh, right, fine. They knew from Rose, I guess, like how they hang out. Okay, fine. All right, that's a relief. So I guess they knew of her. I guess that they probably didn't hang out too much in like middle school or whatever. And yeah, it's just looking like a hated child waiting for her parents to come and find her. Keep dreaming, Chris. Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, I think so. Everybody said it. I think so. She's wearing the exact same clothes as we, so yes. Everybody settle down. Also, yeah, okay. One critique I'll have is I don't really like that, like the how long the fades are. Fading between the different shots to make them smoother is something that I appreciate and something that I also do with like the character poses in Gacha. However, I've learned over time that actually if you make the crossfade too long, you see more transparency from the characters than is actually intended. That's also why people like to do like squash and stretch sometimes in Gacha too. That's something that's been like making the rounds recently. It's for a similar reason. And squash and stretch involves like only 1 or 2 frames because otherwise it would look incredibly awful. Going like yes, I'm going to change pose now, rather than just like a smooth like boom. This is like the more primitive version of that idea. Anyway, now April, would you mind telling us how you came to Orchid High School? I was driven here. Okay, so she was homeschooled. There we go. All right. I was homeschooled from 1st to 8th grade. Quite a long time. This year, my parents wanted me to try something new, so yeah. Ooh, okay. I thought in last episode was implied that she was making a change for herself rather than like her parents wanted to go. This is the thing that, again, of like, reactionary characters. Like, it wasn't her choice to come to high school. That's one thing I like about Aphmau, Phoenix Drop High, is the fact that she actually really was excited to go to high school until she was like too nervous at some points. But despite the fact that she was homeschooled for a year, she actually really wanted to get back out there. And Silvana agreed, of course, because she wanted to get off the darn game, kids and their video games and whatnot. Very nice. Your seat will be in the back row, and it will spawn underneath you, as was the custom at Gacha at the time. Yeah, also, I would have made those frames a lot shorter if she was, like, traveling. Again, the pace of the video. I remember that while the comments on the first video was that it wasn't, like, too fast or too slow. The story pacing was definitely not too fast or too slow. The actual editing of it, sometimes a bit slow. A few times a bit slow. But anyway, yeah, like I said before, like, the chair spawn ether. Again, classic Gacha of the time. I think that there was only like one like gray chair that you could use. Everyone else had to either start the scene sat down, or you just had to hope that no one noticed, or like try and cut away from them as they stood up. Now let's begin. At that rate, April got the class will be over. Yeah, that is if this class works the same way as most Gacha classes, which is that as soon as as you sit down and have one conversation, the bell rings and you leave immediately. This one looks like it's going to be more of a transition thing. Although I'd be really impressed if we actually get a proper lesson. But let's see. No, it's a blah blah blah. Which is at least better than the bell ringing immediately after the character comes in and we never get another class ever again. At least there's an implication that something happened in here. So yeah, all right, okay. I was on left parents to go to high school. That was end of episode 1. As it turns out, it was the parents' decision to send April to high school, not April's choice to turn over a new leaf. Also, it turns out she was homeschooled from 1st to 8th grade, so yeah, she really only ever got to interact with kids on that playground rather than in a school environment. Which I guess also means that it was harder for her to make a to show that she'd outwardly changed because they would have all the reason in the world to avoid her and it would be difficult to account for that. So actually, yeah, logically speaking, that actually kind of works. I've taught myself into it. There we go. This is great. We're enjoying when you're not enjoying class. That's time is pain. I will say when you're planning an activity for an entire lesson, yeah, having it only last 2 minutes would actually be a blessing. Also, I will say that much from the other end. I don't enjoy anything. Time is pain. Yeah. It's the whole time flies when you're having fun thing. When you're paying attention to the flow of time, it never goes as quickly as you want it to. Oh, it's lunch already? Yeah, because we transitioned. Class dismissed. Okay. All right. I mentioned this before, but there was no cafeteria background, even in Gacha life. The first ever custom background that I ever used was in Mutant Girl Episode 8, Part 1, which was the cafeteria scene. So, yeah, I appreciate this one. I guess the equivalent of that would be that somebody, sat down on, the benches. That would kind of be it. That's really it, yeah. Do I enjoy being on the receiving end? Yes, because most of the time, it ends up, working itself out. There was some times where the things that I had planned for lessons, they don't last too long. It depends on the class. It's usually an issue with like the quieter classes that don't that don't like interact as much, like give like really short answers, and that's it. Usually the ones that are more involved, it takes longer, so that's good. But yeah, it's definitely just a time fly situation as well sometimes. Also, yeah, okay, hey Rose, grow a brain 2 millimeters away from you. That is, yeah, very true. I mean, this definitely goes back to the to to Ron Weasley, you know, when as he it's like mocking Hermione, you know. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. Honestly, no wonder she's got no friends. Yeah, except that he didn't even like know that she was actually like approaching right behind him. So he had plausible deniability. Incidentally, first that Ron and Hermione's first child named Rose. Coincidence? Probably. Can't be a 1v1 copy of each prop. Never understood it. No, me neither. Never got that. Yeah, as soon as I got better at importing things into Vegas, started to use those instead because it just made more sense. Oh well. Yeah, it's almost as confusing as the whole chairs thing. This reminds me of to anyone who's seen Running with You, it's one of the things that I mentioned as well, that this given that like Aiden tries to come up with this with like, you know, camera angles, but there are some situations where like where Jackson and Brad are like talking about Noah, and meanwhile Noah is just like standing there going like ee like just over from them. And it's like, I mean, come on. I think I apologize for being mean to her. Well, he saved her life from a troll attack, or helped save her life from a troll attack. But so, you know, he made up for it in, you know, in that way. Wow, yeah, that's true. Yeah, different Rose entirely. But yeah, I did think she would still be bitter. Then again, the only issue with that is that she's bitter about like one event being like that she broke a toy, which yeah, okay. One thing about like kids is they don't hold grudges for as long, usually. But yeah, like, you know, being mad for like breaking a toy at this point, like if she had to verbalize the reason why she was like angry and what like the straw was that broke the camel's back, she would come off as pathetic. So that's one thing that Rose hasn't really realized. But yeah, April still will, you know, have that hurdle, and hopefully that will mean that they'll reconcile in some way. Either that, or this was not meant to be the last episode, and we won't really get a resolution to that. So I don't really know for sure. The Universal Launcher is like, this is not a park in reality. I don't know. Based on the buildings, it doesn't match the interior of the school buildings we normally see, but it is the closest thing that we get. It's kind of like how the Universal like school, like the school entrance sometimes, like one of the school entrances, like one of the school like courtyards, is actually like a mall complex, but people just, you know, used it in that sense. But yeah, Universal lunch area. This one makes sense. Honestly, depends on the school. You know, if it's a big enough school, yeah, why not have this be the area? A little bit of green, a little bit of greenery around the students. Like a private park for anyone who lives in those apartments around them. Yes, or if the apartments were in fact meant to be the school, which is what I think people have interpreted it as, myself included. Yeah, but especially not when April looks like me. Okay, yeah, slight added bias to the situation, but you know, not unjustified. Yeah, I mean, bullies are quite universally unlikable, I think, except the people who find them hot for some reason, but we don't talk about that right now. I know, right? I don't want to share a school with a brat. What are you talking about? I love bullies. You may be in luck. Either that or James is going to be like, because he didn't care about the rumors at the time back in the playground, so he's going to walk over there, being the Giga Chad that he is, and sit down with her. But yeah, so shouting, "I am right here." Yep, cat guy from Taming the Bad Boy. But yeah, for example, yes. I mean, I will say the creator of Taming the Bad Boy definitely finds bullies hot. I'll say that much. Hey, are you alright? Huh? Oh yeah, I'm fine. Oh, I should have given them the voice like, "Hey, yeah, are you alright?" Give him like the XP level 3 Chad voice. Also, like Crystal, my boy's name also start with a K, though his friend's name didn't start with an R from what I remember. Oh, this is a while ago. Okay. Oh, okay. It seems like you don't have anybody to sit with. Well, you can come to my table if you want. I would join yours, but it's at the edge of the screen, so I would be off frame otherwise. Okay, that. Interesting, because Rose is now on the opposite end of where she used to be, where like everyone else reacted this way. Well, it was implied they reacted that way. We didn't really see anyone react to their friendship, but yeah, now they've kind of like switched. That does raise the question, actually. Like, why didn't James approach April back in the day at any stage? Like, if the other kids like avoided her and he was meant to be like super accepting or whatnot, and like from his reaction before, he didn't seem to care about the rumors. Why didn't he actually go up to her at some point? Especially if if it turns out that she was actually really like kind to Rose. You would have thought that those three could have been a golden trio of their very own. Honestly. Hmm. My thought points where James came from was this table not in that direction. Good point, actually. Yeah. Unless James has like as just arrived from the inside and he has like a table he usually goes to, not like he claimed one just today. Some like high schoolers have their own designated tables. I don't know. Which, by the way, also if they also like now I think about it, if the parents wanted her to have like full high school experience, like they would have like enrolled her on like the first day. But yeah, it's implied that she's just the new student randomly right now. So they might like change their mind halfway through, being like, high school curriculum. You better socialize. Like, yeah, that character take the first step. Remember that line when they're in the sense they are. Do you remember that line? No, unfortunately not. In the unless you mean like SAO abridged, in the sense that they do something kind for a stranger, and the student does it, the stranger does it in return. Yeah, exactly. Always treat others like sisters and brothers, and they'll do the same for you. Follow the golden rule. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. Like, be my friend because because you're the pro tag. Yeah. Well, in the case of like approaching April, the kindness element would have been just a sense like there was a child who like a bunch of rumors about her tried to find out the truth. That would have been the moment. Yeah. Yeah. That's me. Oh, okay, fair enough. There's not this tiny table into with a bunch because the GachaVerse has just flat cardboard cutouts. Yeah. It's better than walking through the table. That's what I'll say. Although I'm guessing that that we're going to see, maybe a bigger version of this of the table on the right, but we're going to cut away from Rose and Crystal, so it doesn't. It's not immediately obvious. Or we're going to get their reaction first. Did he just invite her to sit with his table? I mean, she invited her to sit at his table, not with the table, but this looks like a 2D image. Yeah. Whatever. They're lame anyways. Yep, there we go. Bigger table. Thought so. All right, it's time for gym. Okay, again, Jake and Harmony being the others. I guess they. By the way, I'm glad they didn't crack their skulls as children. That's good. Yeah, one called Large White Table. By the way, that was what he's reacting to in the chat. I didn't put that on the screen. Whoops. Also, another thing we don't normally get in gacha videos: gym class. Like it's not like it has happened sometimes. In fact, I remember there was like a video about like a bat hybrid of some kind that had a gym class one that I always think of. But yeah, like out of the school classes, rarely have a gym. I don't know. I like the music actually. That's also a good point. Like last episode was one consistent track that actually faded out towards the end of the video and was like timed in that way. I mean, that might have been deliberate or might have been just been luck. Ultimately, that might be why we didn't have so many like other scenes before we got to April's like change. That might be why actually. But yeah, this one actually is twice the length of the first episode, and it also yeah, it has appropriate music changes. Nervous girls gym class where they pass the ball around, come up with their music group. Also true. No reason why not every girl is amazing. Despite its weird oddities sometimes. Anyways, good afternoon, class. Today we'll be running the mile inside, I guess. I mean, I don't know if the outdoor field was part of the gacha backgrounds yet, but if it was, I would have run the mile potentially outdoors, let's say. Right, to be honest, it's a student-led course. Sometimes, sometimes what I found is that gym teachers tend to be younger than other teachers. Or alternatively, they have like they have assistants who happen to like come back relatively quickly, in the like the peak of physical health. That's that type of idea. It's also there's this thing like Code Lyoko actually. The reason that they call Jim in that one, not because of the gym teacher. That wasn't actually, or maybe actually, that might be like a little bit of joke in the French version. But also because he was actually in the books they confirm this is because he's younger than the other teachers, and so they actually and so despite the fact they obviously have respect for authority, they actually they actually are a bit less formal with him as a result of that. Which also reflects, by the way, in the Spanish dub of that, where they use the informal greeting for Jim, and the formal one for all the other teachers, and Mr. Delmas. Yeah, not a mile, the mile. Yeah, I've heard that before, of, like running the mile being a term in like US sports. Like just like through osmosis. So I think that's where that comes from. I don't really know. Wearing up spiky anime boy hair. True, a scrap protagonist from an older story, I bet. maybe he was the pro tag of Meet the Plastics. I haven't confirmed. Some of you should probably change as your clothes aren't suited for running, so I'll give you time. Okay, the fact that like, I mean, first of all, gym uniforms being a thing is usually for this reason, but also like the implications that they weren't told that they should change. Then again, honestly, for gym class, you should have expected this. I mean, Harmony here rocking up in a blazer, so button shirt and tie and skirt was definitely not prepared for running. For example. However, yeah, it's all like are they gonna have to like rush to the lost and found to try and like put an outfit together? Oh my! A retired scam protagonist who tried to teach gym in a local high school. Oh my! He used to train heroes in his isekai life, and now he trains teenagers who are also about hero age, so that makes sense. But Harmony and April not wearing shoes. I can see why you would think that. Yeah, like it looks like they are. Yeah, they are just wearing socks. You're right. Their feet are gonna freeze. I've got a blanket around my feet right now, so I relate. Nah, I refuse. I enjoy discomfort. How dare you? Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. So Harmony decided to change. I guess matching Jake as well. Great job for those who changed. Shame on you for the ones that didn't. Get ready, get set, go! You don't have a destination, just figure out a mile for yourselves. Figure it out. I hate that. Okay. This reminds me, what was the video I talked about recently that had like the mother who like in her like internal thoughts was a running joke that she seemed like, overworked just by the fact that like the child wanted to help out multiple times. What was that one? Well, the child like offered to help, and then but the mother was like, they said like, "Oh no, you go ahead and have fun." I'm always left with everything. What was it? It was something recent. I don't know. Yeah, it was this year as well. Yeah, it was the short parts of 2025. Okay, hold on. What is happening? They're running the mile indoors with no proper like destination mark on them, for them, and apparently the teacher hates the class. That's what's happening right now. And wait. By the way, James looks like he was only. I guess yeah, like the different pose. He wasn't like doing like the fully flexed knee. He was in the middle of sprinting. That makes sense. I guess April and Harmony don't Naruto run. Oh well. Oh yeah, the evil teacher. There we go. Yeah. Miss Marvel spin-off. It wasn't the spin-off. That was the original. Miss Marvel spin-off was the Christmas Carol. The actual evil teacher. That was the first starting point. There we go. What's going on with the chins? Well, I think this creator thought that like that those chins made the most sense for the male characters. Like that was the male chin. We've been calling them the Giga Chad chin the whole time, but yeah, basically, I think that's the idea. In the middle of the road, they had to run a mile. They're just like working out how far a mile is in the city. No wonder he hate. Well, don't worry, Ryan. If you hate the class, don't worry. You won't be teaching there for much longer when the principal finds out. It's the wrong side of the road, they're in the UK. It doesn't matter what side of the road they're on ultimately, because any side of the road where they are right now, with a pavement behind them, is going to be a danger to them. No matter what direction the cars are going to come in, they're going to get flattened. It's going to be the same result either way. It's like Forrest Gump. One day I just started running. Yeah. Except he ran it for a bit more than a mile, but yes. Wait, no. Wait, no. I know what this reminds me of, actually. The dumb race in The Amazing World of Gumball. The time where Gumball like blindfolded 7 people, including himself, and said like the one who reaches the furthest running blindfolded would officially be the dumbest. April lost the shoes again. I mean, did she ever have them to begin with? I don't know. If it's going to see if my battery can get fixed, tablet battery. It turns out my tablet's just old. Yeah, it happens. Got to show them off and get changed into the gym clothes. Then go back to them running on the streets. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so now this is where you pointed out that she didn't have shoes. And this is her right now. So yeah, she never had the shoes to begin with. Go back more. You said go back to when they changed. That was when they changed. Okay, fine. Here we go. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. So like, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it now. So because it's like that white bit at the bottom there. And then it fades. It fades right there. So she had the shoes on for an instant, and then they were gone. That's when they changed. Okay, there we go. That is funny. That is good. It's like, we're going to run in the middle of the road, sure. But, you know, we're going to respect the traffic laws now. Fantastic. Only thing that would have made this better is if they like, we saw them look both ways first and then proceeded to. That would have made it the best. I think these two are meant to be like the ones who, like, you know, are too are too fashionable to run, you see. But I mean, either way, it still works. We're about to lose the bet. No. Yes. All right. KW, hop on in. Where are you? There you are. Ah, wonderful. Professionals have standards. This sucks. I'm unsubscribing. I still have Imagine. All right. Hi, KW.
There was a bet? What?
Yes. So basically, because I've had no guests up until now in the video, the like Bond said that like Aiden was gonna come in at some point and say, you know, let me in all lowercase. To which I responded that you were gonna come in and say, let me in all uppercase. And you did. so we had a bet to see who would like say that, do that first, and then if someone else came in like Ghosty, for example, then we both lost.
Oh.
So yeah, there we go.
I'm just
watch him show up now. Honestly, yeah, that would make perfect sense. He was working today, but apart from that, yeah.
I'm just like, oh, Jacob is streaming.
Maybe
Okay, well, it's whatever. I'm busy right now. I'm out and stuff like that. And then I'm just like, what is going on in this live stream? And then when I saw what happened, I'm just like, I have to be let in. I have to like, why?
Mm-hmm. Who's working today? You knew I would lose, you jerk. I wasn't the one who suggested Aiden. I wasn't the one who said it would be Aiden. Oh yeah, yeah. So like everyone else still, yeah. Bond became Jack's pin when I said that unsubscribing. Oh my goodness, yeah. Bond would never become Jack's Penwell.
Yes, guys, I am subbing Jacob Butter because, you know, he made a bet and stuff, and I lost, and that's pretty unfair, you know, because he had the advantage, because, you know, Aiden was busy today, you know.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, why are there no shoes?
Yeah, no idea. Oh, who is Jack's Penwell? Oh yeah, that was like a little bit before your time, I think. Yeah. So I think this was like late 2022, early 2023, actually.
Okay.
Jack's Penwell was a guy who like came onto the stream. He sometimes like still appears to this day, like a couple of times. But he used to ask all the time about like if I would react to his stuff. Like almost in every stream he was asked. I was like, okay, I'll get to you eventually. He eventually like added me on Discord, and then he DM'd me like every time he uploaded, or like he asked me like every day when I would react to his stuff. And eventually, and sometimes I did.
Right.
But eventually I got annoyed by the spam of it all, and also the fact that whenever he actually like asked to be like a guest on stream, he would just like come in and just and just like sit there in silence. and he also had bad internet as well, so like I had to like reconnect him like multiple times as well.
Oh, is this
Yeah,
the
it
guy
basically got to the point like.
No, I remember this. Is he the guy who'd be like, so anyways, I'm working on this project or whatever during your live streams? Like, every single time he
No, that's
joins
Bond.
in? Wow!
No, but yeah, yeah, that's one of the things that he would do sometimes. Yeah, he was specifically the one who made like Kidnapped by Giants and also My Giant Girlfriend, I think, was also his one. Yeah.
I would never this story. I remember
he
you
was
telling
prepared to
me
censor my
off
funds
stream.
as well. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it was before I met the pair of you.
I remember this story actually because I remember like Ghost Kitty or someone else was like, "I want to explain." I'm like, "Who is that?" And you said, "I will tell you after during the stream, or whatever." I remember this. And I even look up the videos about Jax Penwell. I decided to go into like this deep rabbit hole of drinking butter.
Yeah, most of the actual videos were perfectly fine. As in, like, the reviews went about how they were. The original videos themselves, they weren't the best. Like, I tried to ask him direct questions about things. One thing that annoyed me like most of all with Jax was the fact that he would be, even when I asked him direct questions about like his work process, as I do with all the creators when I have them like on screen, he would say nothing. But then somehow his internet connection got miraculously much better, and he would be able to say at the end of every stream, "Also, guys, I've got my next thing. This is what I also did. This is like my next video. Back to that one next." And that was it. Like, what was even the point of him being there if he's not going to say anything apart from that? Because he also said those same things in chat, but maybe he also realized that I wasn't putting his messages on screen as much as I used to. In fact, two of his accounts got banned for spamming. His third one didn't. That's the one he messaged on sometimes to this day. But yeah, BB was really on that at the time. Yeah. This ain't solid, but yeah. That's was a fan of not just a Gacha shipper, the Gacha shipper. That was the name of the channel. Used to view, I think him and Josh might be the ones recommend Gacha shipper. Yes. Gacha shipper, of course, being the person who made, I think, the worst thing that we have ever watched on Gacha review. Wait, actually, I don't know. Nightmare Daycare. The second worst thing that we have watched on Gacha review. and that was The Bad Girl's Little Boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I do not like that title one bit. Like, I don't know the context of it, but like the title just gives me red flags. Like, it's like, do not go and watch this. And my eyes are like, but I want to. But my heart and brain is like, no, K-Down, you cannot. You do not want to see what you are going to miss. Silent Hill 2 taught you nothing.
That is basically yeah, exactly. I'm about to say, yeah, what you messaged me about 2 days ago, Silent Hill 2, exactly that. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Just a little bit context, guys, before we get back to the video. I was like panicking a little bit because I'm like, did I even say watching Silent Hill 2 gameplay? And so I messaged him. I was like, so everybody else is busy. Can I talk to you for a second? And he's like, so if you knew some of these things were in Silent Hill 2, why did you watch it? And I don't think I mentioned him because I was like, ... Well, you see here,
Yeah, it's like I wanted to go into supportive friend mode until you told me what was actually going on. That was like, so let me get this straight. I can't turn that off. But yeah.
You knew what was gonna be inside of it too. You knew you would not like this stuff, but you still watch it anyways. Yeah, well, you see, I didn't know how dark it was. Yeah. What do you mean you didn't know how dark it was? It's horror for a reason.
Yeah, see, yeah, you were talking about specifically like the mental health themes that come up in Silent Hill 2, and to which I said that horror particularly goes into like mental health territories. But like honestly, because like when you have like a horror theme, a lot of like people's like worst fears are in their mind. That's where like all that stuff manifests. Like dissect the human mind and like manifesting that in a horror formation is a trope as old as time, and horror will take that to its absolute extremes because that's kind of like the only place where you can really do that. So of course, that's going to end up being the case if those themes appear in a horror game. Yeah.
I was like, well, I didn't know how bad it was gonna go. What do you mean? It's mental health. Anything is a possibility. Oh, you see?
Yeah.
Oh, you see? I don't know.
That's because they pay for Jigga late. In all fairness, yeah. In all fairness, if you do watch the VODs of Bad Girls Little Boy, that is kind of like the idea. Yeah, it was my goodness, that broke a lot of us, not just Ghost Kitty. Not just Ghost Kitty.
How many parts?
Yeah, it's like it was. Of Bad Girls Little Boy, there are actually so many. But actually, this is a rare situation where actually Jax relayed this to me that the Gacha shipper like asked him to ask me not to review any more of them. That's why I stopped. Yeah. Otherwise, I would have continued despite the pain it would have put me in.
I see.
Yeah. Right. At one point, he did actually correspond with the Gacha shipper that one time. In fact, actually, he made like a server just for the pair of us to talk, not a group chat. That would have made too much sense, of course. But yeah, but he also like said like he didn't tell the Gacha shipper like what we were there for. He just said like, hey, do you want to talk to the Gacha shipper? I was like, okay, sure. But then afterwards, like, well, okay, what we do? Like she was like, what are we doing here? It's like, I thought you knew. I thought you knew. Oh, okay. Well, sorry. Like I'm busy right now. Okay, never mind. Sorry to have disturbed you. And that was it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's yeah. Also, now I've realized something. I was going through like my old Discord messages. I apparently had like some correspondence with What's Up Unicorn, like from a long time ago. What's Up Unicorn is the creator of My Shimmering Husband, and I didn't remember that I'd actually even talked to them like before that point. So yeah, I don't know. Yes, no context exactly. We both the original Bad Girls Little Boy and its reboot. Yes, so the first 2 episodes of Bad Girls Little Boy got rebooted, and we watched those. We also, I think, watched like episodes 3 and 4, and then by that point, Gacha Shipper asked Jax to ask me to not continue them. So there are a few of them, yeah. To make up without superior knowledge of what they're doing as a bad stuff. Yeah, well, that's even if that was the setup. That was before, I think. Gacha Shipper asked me to stop watching things. Like otherwise, I would have asked about that at that particular point. I would have I would have potentially like apologized if I went too far in certain aspects. I think everything I said was justified because, good lord, it was horrific. But you never know. I also would have loved to get some insight, but whatever. I think that was before that happened. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, who knows? Oh, Tree Pop's here. Hello.
Hi, Tree Pop.
All right. Hey, let's see how. Let's see how something non-horrifying wraps up. Okay, so they did in fact go in a circle. All right, so they've never established a circle, but sure, okay. He's moved off from making GachaVerse, now doing VR content on his channel. Oh, okay. That's actually kind of interesting. I mean, fair enough. Oh yeah, you'll notice that my least favorite thing about these videos is the fact that the crossfades are way too long and they have too much transparency. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Interesting that I think we're still missing people, right? I feel like I could swear we're missing somebody in this lineup. Harmony! That's right. There we go. Or Rose. Okay, yeah. One. Yeah. Yeah. Go get changed and you can leave. Yeah. I don't know how long it takes, the average teen to run a mile. So I don't know if that would have lasted the whole class or not. I don't think it would have. I was by my own kidnapped by giant story. I remember that I actually was going to was going to make a story called I was like Raised by Giants or something. Actually, I had like yeah, I had like a preliminary like episode 1 script at the time.
Yes, Raised by Giants, of course. Why not? I don't know.
Yeah, was what the yeah, what I like the most intense arguments I've ever had with Aiden was how we spent like an hour going back and forth on whether or not to set that show in the Butterverse and why I have my reasons for not wanting to. Mainly because I have plans for giants inside the Butterverse, and they do not align with the inspiration that I got from Jax. That was my main thing. Yeah.
That's what KW, my friend, if you're a shadow, no, as Mask Miller is, so we know he's a Let's Player now. Oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Wait. So does that mean that that one of your friends used to do gacha videos before changing content?
I don't know. Whenever they like pop up a lot in my like live chat and bumps like Secrets of the Flex videos and stuff, and they would just like talk about how good it is or ooh how interesting it is and everything like that. I do not know if they have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just been like supporting us with Secret of the Flex. Okay, no, you did. Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember.
Okay, it's just that the way that Bond phrased that was kind of yeah. No, it's just the way that like Bond phrased that. It seemed like he meant that it's the same way that Jax has moved on from gacha content to something else. Our friend has also moved on from gacha content to something else. That's what I thought. Okay, all right then. Was it in a role plays Once Upon a Time? Okay, yeah. Does Castle enjoy to comment on one of our Secrets of the Flex videos every few years? Fair enough. Like, or it's like, oh, I wonder what these people are up to. I wonder if he knows about the change from one channel to the other, or if he was like me and just didn't know about the connection between the two of them. Wait a minute. Let's look at that one more time. Yeah, the fact that like Harmony kind of like shifted with Rose. Did you see that? No.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what this is about. I mean, they all kind of like grew there, but I'm not sure what else we're looking at here. WizGamingXD exposed. Exposed for what? Wait a second.
What?
I'm so confused. I don't. Oh, okay. The shoes. Right, there we go again. All right then.
Oh, the shoes. Yeah, okay.
I see. I mean, that time was deliberate. I mean, I don't know about, but before it wasn't. But there you go. The shoes, Bosos. I knew it all along. Bomb becomes Squid Kid. Before like it's our last episode. Last episode now has 12 likes, by the way, since this point, which I guess also goes to show that after this channel like had videos that blew up more than this one, that the videos like view base probably tripled, which means that it was even smaller viewer base than before.
So wait, was this episode 1 or 2?
Oh, this was episode 2.
Okay.
And I don't think there were any more episodes. I did look up the donor on the channel, and I didn't find any more results, unfortunately. So I think it was. I think this one was kind of scrapped in pursuit of better things, I suppose.
The only thing I could say, I guess, was the chins bother me. That is it.
Okay, fair enough.
I can't say really much anything else because I didn't know what was going on. All I saw was the shoes and that one scene and everything. It was just like,
yeah. Most other stuff that came out after this, it seems like is a few music videos, some like one-offs like recreating KSC or Kick characters in Gacha Life, important updates, an original meme for 100 subscribers apparently, girls meme as well after that. So yeah, a lot of memes which was not as prevalent when those videos were uploaded. So yeah, a little bit of a ahead of time situation. Yeah, some of the non-gacha stuff spliced in between, but mostly gacha stuff from this point onwards.
Yeah.
I'm not famous MEP, which is seemingly the one that's the highest view count of the early videos, not one that blew up, but yeah. And then very shortly after after these memes, maybe like a two-parter collab that happened, which also features two characters seemingly fighting over things, which looks like a redesign of Rose and April actually from this video. So it seems like that was like recreated after the original donor stuff was scrapped. And wait a second, voice actors needed for a Gacha Life series updated, featuring April and Rose in the title there. The past reemerges Clarity episode 1 voice acted. Wait a minute, okay. It looks like this version got scrapped in order to make way for Charity. Sorry, not Clarity. Charity. The series, which I think went on for a bit longer, and actually I remember seeing has a playlist on the channel. Yeah, Charity Slice of Life Gacha series, 20 videos. Some of them might be like intros and stuff, but I think a lot of those are actual episodes. So basically, like some of the stuff that I mentioned here, maybe that was actually improved. Okay, yeah, but honestly, okay, we'll go to pros and cons for this version right now. Love that in perspective, we win the POV of the spoiled brat using a sound effects. A good timing, music was well selected. Ninth job this time. One more background was good. Am I awake right now? While this introduction episode, we felt like a missing. While this introduction episode felt like we're missing plot. Character designs were air. What happened to the shoes? Character designs stayed the same from like childhood to adult to like teenagerhood, which I definitely would have like adapted a bit more. Which seemed to be the case because, again, they got redesigned as it seems going forward from here. So it seems like WizGaming kind of learnt from that idea.
It's insane.
Yeah. And the main thing that I really like about episode 1, like I mentioned before, was the fact that the character had an actual goal and motivation. Which feels feels like obvious, but yeah, again, with how many like reactionary gacha characters there are ones that like just kind of have to go with the flow with everything and feel like they are in an inescapable situation, and some of them don't like even escape at all, aside from sabotaging themselves in unhealthy ways. That goes a really long way. So the fact is, the donor is already a great start.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff that I mentioned in that first episode that could have been improved is stuff that I would have preferred from my perspective, but the stuff that was in there was functional. Second episode, kind of backtracked a little bit from that because we went from the implication that April just chose to reinvent herself for high school to her parents assigned to, but then again, we never found out that she wasn't in high school before that. It would have been nice to know that was like her only interaction with those kids was like in that playground, and therefore that's how that would have gone down. I'm hoping also we got to see in the voice acted version more instances of her acting spoiled, so it wasn't just a rumor. Like this episode was called Gossip. There was like one scene of gossip, so some of the stuff feels like like it needed to be more explored in more detail, and I guess forcing yourself to make a script for this because as voice actors are involved is definitely one way to go about it. So yeah, on board with that, which is gonna this I had to check something as well. The first episode of Charity. First episode of Charity was hold on. The episode came out 4 years ago. I was gonna say when it's like because some of the Charity like promos were 5 years ago. It's like, wait a minute, is this gonna come from my title? No, it's not. February 2020. But yeah.
Well, anyways,
which again means that WizGaming believed in the idea.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I should be get going anyway. Thanks for the stream. It was fun. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Kidnapped by friendly giants. I've never some work to do. Time for open drinks. But yeah. All right, fair enough then. Yeah, I cracked open one of my old collaborations with Maya 2.0, so I've been working on that one. So yeah, definitely won't be looking into my old giant story for some time. Well, but yeah, like I got inspired by Into the Game to go back into one of those things particularly. Do you want to stick around for the outro? I guess not. But we'll definitely be coming back here. If I wasn't excited already to go into this content, I definitely am now. Like I set myself up with disappointment many times with these videos, where it's like, oh well, like this voice editor thing that seemed to like blow up. What were the origins of this person? You expect something like really cringe, and eventually like, okay, we'll see how they evolve and whether or not they grow away from that metery story style, or whether they stay that way and it ends up sometimes getting worse, Lee Trescott's style, for example. This one, no, I mean, this one actually, I think, had a better starting point than metery stories. Less chaos, less outward anime logic, and less questionable decisions from everyone. The one person I question this is kind of Rose in terms of like her actual vendetta. But again, hopefully we can get to see like that being fixed. Maybe if we see how Rose is around for some of the other things that that April might do. Maybe that's how she finds out that she's super spoiled and decides to distance herself once, the tides turn on her. Again, there are definitely ways around it. Don't forget about Pink and Green for tomorrow. Thank you very much. I will download the first episode of that right now, just in case it gets deleted tomorrow, and then and then I never get to see it. You never know. It could happen. I don't trust things anymore. What outro? My ears was burning. Yeah, I don't know. This is just it. No, the outro of like this video. I mean, not necessarily like the outro of like the series. There is a video with just with just an intro actually, which came out after this episode aired. But I'm going to guess that it had copyrighted material. Let me just go back and check that. Oh geez, I accidentally played the video. Okay, yeah, the donut intro. It's 21 seconds long. I'm just gonna see if there's a. Yep, it's copyrighted. Okay. So yeah, not watching that one, but yeah, it's I guess it was. So I guess the donor was meant to have other episodes, but for whatever reason got scrapped and worked. We'll hopefully get to see those reworks sometime soon. Yeah, potentially within like the next week or so. I'm really hyped for this one. I'm really excited to see what this one was like. I want to know now. I might even skip some of those other memes in that 2-parter just to find out. Maybe we'll see. That collab might come up first. So maybe, yeah, I guess expect more WizGaming content to saturate the channel in the near future. Assuming I don't forget, like I did with Miss Fantasia. But of course, tomorrow, Pink and Green. So please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters, as you haven't done so already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.